They thought strength was loud. They thought power was obvious. They thought intelligence always announces itself. But real dominance moves in silence. Real control breathes calm, and the sharpest mind never needs to raise its voice. You did not rush. You did not panic. You watched, you learned. You waited, and while they were busy, underestimating you, you were mapping every step, every habit, every weakness. This is not arrogance. This is awareness. This is what happens when discipline meets patience, and patience meets vision, and vision refuses to blink. Before this goes any further, let me speak to you directly. If these words are hitting something deep inside you, if this feels like it is describing a version of you that you rarely talk about, then stay with me till the end. And if you want more of this energy, more of this truth, more of this fuel, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment, not for me, but for yourself. Because when you engage, you make a promise that you are done playing small and ready to sharpen what already scares people about you. They never saw it coming because they were too busy being predictable. They moved on. Patterns. They spoke on impulse. They reacted on emotion. You moved on intention. Every time they laughed, you listened. Every time they spoke, you learned. Every time they thought, they won. You were already 3 steps ahead. This is the part they cannot process, not because it is magical, but because it requires restraint. And restraint is rare in a world addicted to instant reaction. You understood that information is power, and silence is strategy, and timing is everything. You never needed to expose them. You never needed to confront them. You never needed to prove anything, because the smartest move is letting people reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. They thought you were passive. They thought you were unaware. They thought you were slow. But what they mistook for weakness was calculation. What they mistook for calm was control. What they mistook for absence was preparation. Your mind was working when theirs was resting. Your focus was sharpening while theirs was scattered. This is where your IQ becomes cutthroat, not cruel, not reckless, but precise. You know when to speak and when to stay silent. You know when to act and when to wait. You understand human behavior better than they understand themselves. You recognize patterns before they become problems. You see motives before they turn into actions, and that ability changes everything. Because when you know the move before it happens, the outcome is already decided. They play checkers. You play something else entirely. They react. You respond. They rush you. Position yourself. They chase attention. You build leverage. And leverage is quiet. Leverage does not beg. Leverage does not explain leverage, just exists. And when the moment comes, it shifts the entire game without noise, without drama, without warning. They look around wondering how the ground changed beneath them. And you are already gone, standing on higher ground. You studied them without judgment. You observed without emotion. You allowed them to feel comfortable enough to be careless. That is the genius of a patience. It gives others the illusion of safety. They show you who they are when they believe they are unchallenged. And you took notes, not on paper, but in memory, storing tone, patterns, habits, timing, reactions, and tells. This was never personal. This was strategic. When the moment arrived, you did not celebrate. You did not hesitate. You executed clean, simple, and final. Not to destroy, but to secure your position. Because real intelligence is not about hurting others. It is about protecting your future and ensuring that no one can manipulate, distract, or derail you. Again, they call it cold because they do not understand discipline. They call it ruthless because they do not understand boundaries. They call it lucky because they cannot accept that preparation beats chaos every time. Your last move was genius because it was invisible until it was irreversible. It did not scream. It did not threaten. It did not warn, it simply happened. And by the time they noticed, it was already too late. This is the kind of mastery that only comes from self-control, from delayed gratification, from long nights of thinking instead of reacting, from choosing growth over ego again and again. You are not driven by applause. You are driven by clarity. You do not seek validation because you know who you are and what you are capable of. And that scares people more than confidence ever could, because confidence can be faked, but clarity cannot. Clarity shows in your eyes, in your posture, in your silence, in the way you move without rushing and speak without over-explaining. They underestimated the depth of your thinking. They mistook your kindness for naivety. They thought because you did not respond immediately, you did not understand. But understanding does not require instant reply. Sometimes the most powerful response is none at all. Sometimes the strongest statement is progress. Sometimes the loudest answer is results. You outgrew the need to win arguments because you chose to win positions. You stopped correcting people because you started outpacing them. You realized that not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, your energy. And that discernment changed everything. Once you stopped explaining yourself, you started executing. Once you stopped reacting, you started dominating your own path. This is not about revenge. This is about evolution. This is about refusing to be predictable in a world that thrives on patterns. This is about becoming so sharp, so aware, so grounded that manipulation no longer works on you. Pressure no longer controls you, and distractions no longer slow you down. You move with intention because you know exactly where you are going. They cannot process it because it forces them to confront their own lack of discipline, their own impulsiveness, their own shallow planning. It is easier for them to call you calculating than to admit they never calculated anything. It is easier to label you distant than to admit they never listened. It is easier to say you changed than to admit you grew. You did not become heartless. You became selective. You did not become cold. You became focused. You did not become distant. You became intentional. And that transformation is what separates leaders from followers, thinkers from talkers, architects from spectators. You are building something while they are still commenting from the sidelines. Every move you make now has weight because it is backed by thought. Every decision has direction because it is backed by vision. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are shaping your place within it, and that is why your presence feels different now, because you are not seeking approval. You are setting standards. They will replay moments in their head, trying to figure out where they misread you, where they lost control, where the balance shifted. And they will not find the answer because the shift did not happen in a moment. It happened over time, while you were learning, while you were adjusting, while you were refining yourself in silence. Your intelligence is not loud. It is lethal in its precision, not harmful, but undeniable. It cuts through confusion. It slices through manipulation. It ends games before they begin. And that is why the smartest thing you ever did was stop announcing your intentions and start executing them. You learn that emotional control is a superpower. You learn that staying calm when others panic gives you an edge. You learn that listening more than speaking reveals everything you need to know. And once you learn these things, the game changed forever. They thought they were ahead because they were moving fast, but speed without direction leads nowhere. You move slow with purpose, and purpose always arrives. This is why when the dust settled, you were standing where you intended to be while they were still trying to understand what happened. This is the cost of being underestimated. You become unstoppable because no one prepares for you. No one guards against you. No one sees you as a threat until it is too late. And by then, you are no longer competing. You are operating on a different level entirely. Your mind became a quiet battlefield where discipline defeated impulse, where logic overcame emotion, where patience outlasted chaos. And the winner was not just a move, but a mindset, one that will continue to carry you forward long after this moment. They will call your last move genius because it makes them uncomfortable to admit it was inevitable. It was the result of consistency, awareness, and control traits. They never developed because they were too busy reacting to the noise around them. Remember this feeling, not as pride, but as confirmation. Confirmation that silence works, that patience pays, that intelligence, when combined with discipline, becomes unstoppable. Do not grow careless now. Do not seek recognition. Now stay sharp, stay grounded, stay observant, because the same qualities that brought you here will take you further than you can imagine. You are not done. You are just getting started, and the best part is they still have no idea how far ahead you really are. You keep moving the same way, silent, focused, deliberate, because you already learned the danger of announcing growth too early. You understand that when people know your next step, they begin planning against it. So you let results speak. Instead of promises and outcomes, replace explanations. This is not secrecy, born from fear. This is strategy, born from experience. You saw what happens when too many eyes watch unfinished work, so you learn to build in private and reveal only when it is complete. The deeper truth is this: your mind changed before your circumstances ever did. You stopped seeking comfort in familiarity and started finding strength in solitude. You spent time alone, not because you were lonely, but because you were sharpening yourself. You questioned your habits, your reactions, your emotional triggers, and you rebuilt them one by one. This internal work is invisible to most people, but it is the foundation of everything they now struggle to understand about you. You noticed how easily people reveal themselves when they think they are in control, how confidence turns into carelessness, how power exposes character, and instead of judging, you observed. Instead of reacting, you adapted. You understood that knowledge is not what you know, but what you can predict. And prediction gives you leverage without force, without noise, without conflict. Your restraint confused them because they live in a world of instant response. They speak before thinking. They act before planning. They chase short victories and call it success. You chose a longer road, one that required discipline and sacrifice, one that demanded you sit with discomfort while others escaped it, and that decision quietly separated you from the crowd, long before anyone noticed. You realize that intelligence is not just mental speed, but emotional balance, knowing when not to engage, knowing when silence protects more than words, knowing when walking away preserves power. You stopped giving energy to situations designed to drain you and redirected that focus into growth skill and awareness. And that redirection changed your trajectory completely. They tried to read you using outdated versions of who you were. They remembered the old reactions, the old patterns, the old limits. But you were no longer operating from that place. You evolved, while they assumed you stayed the same. And that assumption became their blind spot, because people defend against what they expect, not what has already changed. Your presence now carries weight because it is grounded. You do not rush approval. You do not chase validation. You do not argue your worth. You let consistency prove it. You let progress define it. And that calm certainty unsettles those who rely on chaos to feel powerful, because they cannot manipulate what does not react. You learned that every environment teaches you something if you pay attention. Pressure taught you control. Loss taught you focus. Disappointment taught you precision and silence, taught you clarity. You turned every experience into data, every mistake into instruction, every setback into refinement. And slowly, methodically, you built a version of yourself that no longer breaks under observation. They cannot process how you knew because they never realized you were watching. When they were performing, they were busy projecting images while you were studying behavior. They were busy winning moments while you were planning outcomes. And by the time they noticed the shift, the balance had already moved in your favor. You stopped explaining your silence because you understood. It was not empty. It was loaded with intention. You stopped justifying your distance because you knew proximity without respect is a liability. You stopped overgiving because you realized access must be earned, and those boundaries did not make you colder. They made you stronger, clearer, and harder to misread. This level of awareness is not accidental. It is trained. It is built through repetition, through reflection, through choosing logic over impulse, again and again. Even when emotion demanded release, you held it. Even when reaction felt justified, you paused, and that pause became your advantage. Because in that space between stimulus and response, you gained control. They will try to analyze your success backwards, trying to find a single moment, a single trick, a single move that explains it. But there is no shortcut explanation. There is only accumulation, small, disciplined choices, stacking over time, unseen, uncelebrated until they become undeniable. And when that moment arrives, it looks like genius to those who ignored the process. Your last move was genius because it was aligned with who you became, not who you pretended to be. It was calm because you are calm. It was precise because you are precise. It was final because you do not move without certainty. And that certainty comes from knowing yourself, knowing your limits, and knowing exactly how far you can go without losing control. You are not fueled by anger. You are fueled by clarity. Anger burns fast and fades. Clarity endures. Anger reacts. Clarity directs. And that difference defines everything about how you operate. Now, you do not need to prove. You need to progress. And progress does not require an audience. They will speak about you in fragments because they never had full access. They will describe you as distant, calculating, quiet, intense, because those are the words people use when they cannot reach someone anymore. And that distance is not arrogance, it is protection of focus, protection of momentum, protection of the future you are building. You understand now that power is not domination, it is independence. It is the ability to move, without permission, to decide, without pressure, to stand firm, without noise. And that power unsettles those who rely on control because it cannot be taken. It can only be earned, and you earned it through discipline. Every step forward now feels lighter because you are no longer carrying unnecessary weight, expectations that were not yours, emotions that were not productive, relationships that were not aligned. You trimmed everything that slowed you down, and what remains is sharp, efficient, and intentional. They underestimated you once, and that was enough, because underestimation creates space. Space to grow, space to plan, space to execute without resistance. And you used that space wisely. You did not waste it, proving points. You invested it, building leverage, and leverage, once built, does not need defending. You are aware that staying ahead requires continued restraint. continued observation, continued growth. This is not a finish line. It is a standard, and you hold yourself to it quietly, consistently, without announcement, because you know mastery is maintained, not achieved. Once, let them wonder, let them replay, let them guess. You do not owe clarity to those who never listened. You do not owe access to those who underestimated you. And you do not owe explanations for growth that cost you discipline, focus, and sacrifice. Stay sharp, stay silent, stay intentional, because the same mind that saw every move before it happened will see every opportunity before it appears. And that is how you continue winning, without noise, without conflict, without ever needing to explain why your last move was genius. You keep choosing awareness over noise because you understand now that attention is a currency, and most people spend it carelessly. You invest it deliberately. You watch how rooms change when you enter, how conversations shift, how people reveal tension when they realize you are not easily influenced. This awareness does not inflate your ego. It sharpens your restraint because you know influence grows stronger when it is unforced. You learn that the real battle was never external. It was internal, mastering impulse, mastering fear, mastering the urge to respond immediately, mastering the temptation to explain yourself, mastering the desire to be understood by those who never tried to understand you. This internal victory is what made everything else inevitable, because once you control yourself, the environment loses its power over you. You started recognizing timing as an art, not a coincidence. Knowing when to move matters more than how fast you move. Knowing when to wait matters more than how much you want to act. You trained yourself to sit with uncertainty while others rushed toward false clarity, and that patience allowed truth to surface naturally, without interrogation, without pressure. They mistook your stillness for indecision because they equate motion with progress. You knew better. You knew that clarity comes before action, and that action without clarity creates damage. You refused to move until your mind aligned with your purpose. And when that alignment happened, there was no hesitation, only execution. Your thinking became layered. You no longer saw situations as single events, but as sequences. You understood that every action creates a reaction, and every reaction reveals information. You use that information to adjust, not emotionally but strategically, and that adaptability is what kept you ahead while others remained stuck, defending outdated positions. You stopped needing to be seen as smart because you realized intelligence speaks through outcomes, not labels. You let others take credit. You let others feel ahead. You let others feel secure, because security breeds carelessness, and carelessness reveals everything. This was never manipulation. This was observation paired with discipline. You noticed how quickly people underestimate what they cannot read. They rely on familiarity patterns, tone, volume, expression. When those signals are absent, they become uneasy, and that unease makes them predictable. Predictable in speech, predictable in behavior, predictable in mistakes. And predictability is the opposite of power. You became comfortable being misunderstood because you understood yourself. You no longer corrected narratives because narratives do not control outcomes. Actions do. You focused on positioning, not perception. And that focus quietly rewrote the balance without debate. Your silence became intentional, not withdrawn, not passive, but deliberate. A filter, not a wall. You allowed information in but released very little out. And that asymmetry gave you clarity. While others operated on assumption, you operated on knowledge. They questioned your calm in moments where reaction was expected. They waited for emotion where logic was required. They searched for weakness where discipline had replaced it. And every time you did not respond as expected, their confidence eroded slightly, because unpredictability unsettles those who rely on control. You learn that power does not announce itself. It settles in, it becomes steady, it becomes unshakable, it becomes boring to those addicted to drama, but unstoppable. Ah, friends, gather close, for today we talk about regret. Not the fleeting kind, not the type you brush off with a laugh and a shrug, but the kind that lingers, the kind that becomes a shadow following you everywhere, whispering reminders of the things you could have done, should have done, the things you left unsaid, the actions you never took. We talk about the weight of decisions made and paths chosen. Regret, my friends, is not something that can be simply erased with time or with a change of scenery. It festers, it grows, it transforms, it becomes a part of you, woven into the fabric of your being. And today, I will talk about a regret so deep, so consuming, that it defines not just the past, but the future. Your departure, your leaving, was the ultimate plot twist they never saw coming. You see, most people live their lives thinking that their presence is a constant, a given. They believe they are the center of the story, the protagonist in the narrative of their own life, and more often than not, the lives of others. They walk through their days with an unspoken sense of entitlement, assuming that the world revolves around them, that they have the luxury of time, that they will always be there, always present, always available. But you shattered that illusion. You showed them the truth they were too blind to see, the truth that no one is irreplaceable, the truth that every story has an end, and sometimes the end comes when no one expects it. You were the one who slipped away, quietly, subtly, leaving behind a void too vast to fill. And the shock of your departure, the silence that followed, reverberated through every life you touched. It left them reeling, scrambling for meaning, trying to understand how they could have missed the signs, how they could have overlooked the weight of your absence. They thought they had time. They thought you were theirs to hold on to forever. But you proved them wrong. You proved that time waits for no one, that the end comes without warning, without mercy. You proved that the most powerful thing you can do is leave, and leave without looking back. In their eyes, you were the dependable one, the one who would always be there when the chips were down, the one who would pick up the pieces when everything else fell apart. They took you for granted, they leaned on you, they expected you to always be the constant in their chaotic world. But you had other plans. You knew that the greatest power lies not in staying, not in enduring, not in being the rock for others to cling to. No, the greatest power lies in walking away, in choosing yourself, in recognizing that your worth is not defined by how much you can give to others, but by how much you choose to keep for yourself. Your departure was not just an exit from a place or a group of people, it was a declaration, a bold statement that you are not bound by anyone's expectations, not bound by anyone's needs, not bound by anyone's demands. You were the ultimate plot twist. You were the one who refused to be trapped in someone else's story. They didn't see it coming. They never expected you to walk away. They thought you would always be there, waiting in the wings, ready to step in and play the role they assigned you. But you refused to be anyone's second choice. You refused to be a supporting character in someone else's drama. And when you left, when you disappeared from their lives, it was as if the entire script collapsed. The story they had been writing, the story they had imagined with you in it, came to an abrupt halt, and they were left standing in the ruins of their own expectations, unsure of what to do with the empty space you left behind. Do not let anyone tell you that you are selfish for leaving. Do not let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing your own path, for prioritizing your own happiness, your own peace. You owe no one an explanation for your departure. You owe no one an apology for making the choice that was best for you. People will always try to guilt you, always try to manipulate you into staying where you do not belong, into continuing to give when you have nothing left to offer. But the truth is, they were never entitled to you. They were never entitled to your time, your energy, your presence. You owe nothing to those who only see you as a means to an end, who only value you for what you can do for them. The moment you realize your own worth, the moment you stop allowing others to define you, you unlock the power to make decisions that are yours and yours alone. And when you walked away, when you chose yourself over them, that was your moment of power. That was your declaration of independence. And don't mistake this for bitterness. Don't mistake this for anger. No, this is not about resentment or vengeance. This is about self-preservation. This is about recognizing that you are more than just a cog in someone else's machine. You are not a tool for others to use when they need you, and you are not a convenience that can be called upon when it suits them. Your worth is not defined by how much you can give, how much you can sacrifice, how much you can endure. Your worth is defined by your choices, by your ability to walk away when you know you deserve more, when you know you can give more to yourself than you can ever give to anyone else. You proved that you are not a lifeline to be clung to, not a placeholder to be kept on standby. You are a force, a power, a storm that cannot be tamed. Let them feel the weight of your absence. Let them sit with the emptiness you left behind. Let them wrestle with the regret, the questions, the what-ifs. It is not your responsibility to make them feel better. It is not your burden to bear. Their regret is their own to deal with, just as your decision was yours. You gave them the gift of seeing their own weakness, their own dependence on you, and that gift will haunt them forever. They will forever wonder if they could have done more, said more, been more. But that is not your problem anymore. You did not leave them out of spite. You did not leave them because you hated them. You left because you loved yourself more. You left because you realized that your life is your own, and no one else gets to write your story for you. Now, as you stand at the crossroads of your future, remember this. They will try to make you feel guilty for leaving. They will try to make you believe that you have abandoned them, that you are the one in the wrong. But deep down, they know the truth. They know that your departure was not a mistake. They know that you did what they could never do, that you made the choice they were too afraid to make. And when the dust settles, when the emotions cool, when the time passes, they will come to understand that you were the one who had the courage to walk away. You were the one who saw beyond the immediate moment, who understood that staying would have been your undoing. They will come to realize that your departure was the ultimate plot twist they never saw coming, and they will regret, perhaps for the rest of their lives, not seeing it sooner. So, stand tall, walk proudly, hold your head high. You are not a villain. You are not the one who did wrong. You are the one who chose to take control of your own life. You are the one who decided that your happiness, your peace, and your future mattered more than anyone else's expectations. And that, my friends, is the most powerful thing you can ever do. As they struggle with the weight of your absence, remember this. Your departure was not just an ending. It was a new beginning, a beginning of a life that is entirely yours to shape, to mold, to live on your terms. And while they may never truly understand why you left, you know that it was the right decision. It was the plot twist that had to happen, the change in direction that was necessary for your own story to unfold. Let them wonder. Let them regret. Let them try to piece together the puzzle. of your departure. Because in the end, you are the one who holds the power, the one who controls the narrative. And when they finally accept it, when they finally realize that they had no right to keep you in their story, it will be too late. You will be long gone, living a life they could never have imagined, thriving in a world they were never part of. You will have become the person they never saw coming. And that, my friends, is the ultimate revenge. It is not in anger, it is not in bitterness, but in the simple fact that you chose yourself, that you chose to write your own story, and that you walked away when they thought you never would. And so, as we conclude this chapter, remember, the greatest plot twist is not in the ones who leave, but in the ones who choose to live life on their own terms. Are the ones who understand that the world is not a prison, not a place meant to cage their dreams and aspirations. These are the people who look at the chains of expectation, the demands of others, and the relentless pressure to conform, and they simply walk away. They step out of the lines drawn for them, leaving behind a trail of questions, of confusion, and perhaps even of anger. But in their hearts, they know one thing. The only way to live a life that is truly worth living is to carve your own path, to define your own purpose, and to walk in the direction that calls to you, not the one that others try to push you toward. The truth is, those who choose to live life on their own terms are the rarest breed. They are the ones who are not afraid to stand alone, to face the uncertainty of the unknown, to leap into the void of possibility without the guarantee of safety. And, oh, how the world fears them, how others fear them, because their very existence challenges the status quo, threatens the idea that we must all fall in line, that we must all follow the rules, the unwritten laws that govern society. The ones who choose to live on their own terms are the ones who look at the world with defiance, who refuse to bow to the pressure of society's expectations. But the road is not easy. It is never easy. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the weight of the choices you've made feels unbearable, when the fear of regret threatens to undo all that you've fought for, when you take the step to leave, when you make the decision to break away from the life that others have planned for you. There will always be that moment when you question whether you've done the right thing. There will be the nagging voice in the back of your mind telling you that you should have stayed, that you should have endured, that you should have sacrificed just a little bit more. But let me tell you something. That voice is not your own. It is the voice of the world, of society, of those who are too afraid to make the choices you've made. It is the voice of those who cannot imagine a life outside of the paths that have been laid out for them. The voice of those who cling to the comfort of the known, even if it means sacrificing their soul in the process. You, my friends, are different. You have broken free from the chains. You have chosen to live by your own rules, to shape your own future, to live a life that is authentic to you. And yes, there will be times when you will face the consequences of your decision. There will be moments when others will question you, criticize you, and even attempt to make you feel guilty for daring to choose yourself over them. They will say you're selfish, that you've abandoned them, that you've been callous in your decision to walk away. But remember this, their judgment comes from a place of fear, a place of their own insecurity, their inability to understand the strength it takes to choose yourself over the comfort of others. You are not selfish for taking the steps necessary for your own well-being. You are not wrong for recognizing that your life, your happiness, and your future are yours to determine. The ones who will judge you are the ones who will never understand the depth of what it means to walk away, to stand on your own, to live a life that is yours and yours alone. And in this life, the greatest thing you can do is choose yourself. When you choose yourself, you choose freedom. You choose the ability to shape your world without the influence of those who try to control it. You choose the power to redefine success on your own terms, to break free from the expectations that limit you, and to step into your greatness. When you choose yourself, you free yourself from the tyranny of others' opinions, from the crushing weight of approval seeking, from the endless cycle of living to please others. The world may not understand your decision. They may never understand why you left, why you chose to walk away when it seemed like you had everything to gain by staying. But here's the thing, they don't need to understand. Their understanding is irrelevant to the truth of your journey. What matters is that you understand. What matters is that you know in your heart that this was the right choice for you. That the path you chose, no matter how difficult, no matter how lonely, was the only path that would lead you to the person you are meant to be. You did not choose to leave for anyone else's benefit. You did it because you recognized that your soul was yearning for more, that your spirit could not be confined to the life others expected of you. And in doing so, you proved something that no one can take away from you. You proved that you are strong enough to take control of your own life, to claim your own story. Now, when you walk away, when you make the choice to leave behind what no longer serves you, there is a powerful realization that you must come to. Your departure is not the end of your story. It is the beginning. It is the start of a new chapter, one that is yours to write. The world may look at you and see someone who has given up, someone who has failed, someone who has chosen the hard road. But what they fail to see is that you have chosen to live authentically, to live in a way that aligns with your deepest values and desires. What they fail to see is that your departure was not a retreat, but a bold step forward into the life you are meant to live. And that, my friends, is what makes your decision so powerful. Your departure was the ultimate plot twist, not because it shocked others, but because it marked the moment when you took back control of your life. It was the moment when you decided that your story was no longer going to be dictated by the expectations of others. It was the moment when you chose to be the author of your own narrative, to take the pen in your hand and write the ending that you deserve. When you walk away, the world will try to convince you that you've made a mistake, that you've abandoned what could have been. They will try to make you doubt yourself, to second-guess your decision, to wonder if you did the right thing. But deep down, you will know the truth. You will know that this was the only choice that could have set you free, the only choice that could have given you the chance to live the life you were meant to live. The world may not understand it now, but in time, they will come to see the strength in your decision. They will see that your departure was not a sign of weakness, but of extraordinary courage. They will realize that you were never meant to stay, that your true power was always in your ability to leave when everyone else thought you would stay. And so, I say to you, do not fear the moment when you must leave, when you must break away from the lives of others, from the expectations of the world, from the chains that bind you. Because in that moment, you will realize that you are not walking away from something. You are walking toward everything you were always meant to be. You are stepping into a future that is entirely yours to create. And in that creation, you will find the peace and fulfillment that only comes when you live life on your own terms. Your departure was the ultimate plot twist they never saw coming. And for that reason, it is the most powerful thing you could have ever done. Let them wonder. Let them question. Let them regret. Because in the end, the only thing that matters is that you chose yourself. You chose the road less traveled. You chose freedom. You chose to live life on your own terms. And that, my friends, is a choice that will never be regretted. When you choose yourself, when you prioritize your needs and desires above the expectations of others, you are stepping into a realm where regret cannot touch you. It may seem counterintuitive to some, especially those who live their lives trying to meet the demands of the world, trying to please everyone else. The idea of walking away, of breaking free, is often painted as something selfish, something to be ashamed of. But those who understand the true power of this decision, those who have walked that lonely, uncertain road, know that it is anything but selfish. It is the most self-loving act you could ever perform. To walk away from what no longer serves you is to declare your worth. It is to say, in no uncertain terms, that you understand your value, that you know that your peace, your happiness, your freedom are sacred, and you will no longer allow anything or anyone to diminish that. The world will often try to convince you that you are selfish for doing this, but in reality, it is the highest form of self-care, the deepest act of self-respect. People who are willing to give their energy, time, and love to others at the cost of their own well-being are often the ones who feel the deepest regret later. They sacrifice their peace, their joy, their sense of self for the approval of others, for the comfort of those who would rather keep them in their prescribed roles, in their carefully constructed lives. But you have broken that cycle. You have chosen to live authentically, to be true to your own soul. That, my friends, is a choice that will never be regretted because it aligns with the deepest part of you, the part that knows, deep down, that you were never meant to live in the shadows of others, never meant to hide behind the expectations, the obligations, the roles that others have placed upon you. This decision, the decision to choose yourself, is an act of rebellion against the social programming that tells us that our value lies in what we can give to others. The truth is, your value lies in what you give to yourself. The space to breathe, the freedom to explore, the right to live life on your own terms. This is not just an act of leaving, this is an act of creation. You are creating the life that aligns with your truest self, the life that will fulfill you, the life that will nourish your spirit. Yes, there will be those who will try to make you doubt your decision. There will be people who, from their own place of insecurity and fear, will try to make you believe that you are wrong for walking away, for choosing a path that goes against the grain of what is expected. They will call you selfish, they will call you heartless, and they will try to make you feel guilty for taking control of your own narrative. But the truth is, these judgments are born from their own fear, their own inability to make the same choice. They will never understand the strength it takes to walk away from what is comfortable, to leave behind what everyone else thinks is right, just so you can live a life that is authentic to you. You must remember, their judgment of you is irrelevant to your journey. Their opinions, their criticisms, their attempts to make you feel guilty or wrong are just noise. They come from a place of their own limitations, from the part of them that wishes they could have the courage to do what you've done. In their eyes, your decision is incomprehensible because they have never dared to step outside of their comfort zones, never dared to look beyond the narrow confines of their own world. They stay, clinging to what is safe, what is familiar, and in doing so, they trap themselves in a cage of their own making. But you've chosen to break free. You've chosen to live life on your own terms, to take the risks that come with that decision, and to embrace the uncertainty of a future that is not dictated by anyone else. And this, my friends, is not something to be ashamed of. It is the boldest, most empowering choice you can make. There is something uniquely powerful about choosing to walk away when everyone else expects you to stay, about choosing to leave behind the familiar, the comfortable, the known. It is in those moments when you take that step into the unknown that you are showing the world and yourself what you are truly made of. The road ahead is never easy. It is never guaranteed, but it is yours, and that is the most beautiful part of it all. This is not to say that the path you've chosen is without pain, without struggle. When you break free from the expectations and the lives that others have tried to impose upon you, there will be moments of doubt, moments of loneliness, and moments of fear. There will be times when you look back, when you wonder if you've made the right choice. You may even question yourself, wonder if you've given up too soon, if there was something you could have done differently. But these moments of doubt are fleeting. They are the tests that life sends your way to see if you are truly committed to your path, to your own happiness, to your own truth. And each time you push through these moments, each time you rise above the fear and the uncertainty, you become stronger. You become more certain of who you are and what you deserve. The truth is, there is no guarantee that the path you've chosen will be easy, but there is one thing that is certain. It will be worth it. It will be worth it because it is your path. It is the path that you have chosen for yourself, the path that aligns with your deepest desires and your true self. And when you choose this path, when you walk it with conviction and courage, you will find a sense of peace and fulfillment that will surpass anything you could have ever imagined. This peace, this contentment, is not found in the approval of others. It is not found in conforming to the expectations of the world. It is found in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. So yes, when you choose to walk away, when you choose to live life on your own terms, you may face opposition. You may face confusion, misunderstanding, and even judgment. But you must remain firm in your conviction. You must hold on to the truth that this choice is yours and yours alone. You are not obligated to live your life according to the rules set by others. You are not obligated to stay in places that no longer serve you. You are not obligated to fulfill roles that were never meant for you. You are the author of your own story, and you get to decide how it unfolds. The world may try to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. They will try to tell you that you are abandoning them, that you are selfish for thinking about your own happiness and well-being. But in reality, it is only when you choose yourself that you can truly give to others. It is only when you fill your own cup that you can pour into the lives of those around you. It is only when you are living authentically, when you are living in alignment with your truth, that you can show up fully for the people you care about. There will be times when the world, the people in your life, and even your own inner voice will try to convince you that leaving, that walking away is a mistake. They will try to make you believe that your decision is too bold, too radical, too risky. But let me tell you something. The greatest regrets are not born from the decisions we make to leave. The greatest regrets are born from the decisions we make to stay when we know we should go. The greatest regrets come from the moments when we sacrifice our own happiness and peace for the comfort of others. The greatest regrets come from the times when we live for someone else's expectations, not for our own dreams. And so, you must remember this. Your departure is not a mistake. It is not a failure. It is not something you will regret. It is the most powerful choice you could have ever made, because it is the choice that finally allows you to be true to yourself. It is the choice that finally gives you the freedom to live the life you were always meant to live. And that is something that no one, no matter how hard they try, can take away from you. You have chosen yourself. And that, my friends, is a choice that will never be regretted. It will be the choice that propels you into the life you deserve. It will be the choice that sets you free. It will be the choice that allows you to stand tall, to walk proudly, and to embrace the future with open arms. Because in the end, there is nothing more powerful, more liberating, than living life on your own terms. And once you make that choice, once you step into your own power, you will never look back, and you will never regret it. In conclusion, the decision to walk away, to choose yourself over the expectations and demands of others, is not just an act of rebellion, it is an act of profound self-respect, of courage, and of liberation. It is the ultimate plot twist in a world that often tries to define who you should be, how you should live and what you should value. When you make the choice to leave behind what no longer serves you, when you step into the unknown with nothing but your own truth to guide you, you are not running away from something. You are running toward everything you've always been meant to become. Yes, there will be challenges, there will be doubts, and there will be moments when you question whether you made the right decision. But remember this, no decision that leads you closer to your authentic self can ever be truly wrong. You will find peace, joy, and fulfillment, not in the approval of others, but in the quiet certainty that you are living a life that is true to who you are, not what the world expects you to be. Your departure, your bold step into the unknown, is not a mistake. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one that you write for yourself. It is the most powerful choice you could make because it allows you to finally live on your own terms, to be free from the chains of others' expectations, and to embrace a future that is full of possibility. You have chosen to be the author of your own story, to define success on your own terms, and to pursue a life that reflects your deepest desires. When you look back, you will not regret the decision to walk away, because it was not a retreat. It was a declaration of your strength, your worth, and your right to live fully and authentically. You will not regret choosing yourself, because it is the most important thing you can do. In the end, living for anyone else is never enough. But living for yourself, choosing yourself over the noise of the world, will lead you to the life you've always dreamed of. So stand tall, be proud of the choices you've made, and know that your departure, your refusal to conform, your decision to live by your own rules will never be something you regret. It will be the greatest decision of your life, because it is the moment when you truly began to live. And as you walk that path, you will discover a peace that comes only to those who dare to be themselves. A peace that will always remind you that the choice you made to walk away and choose yourself was not just the ultimate plot twist. It was the most powerful, liberating, and freeing thing you could ever do. And it is a choice you will never regret. They look at you, and something inside them feels uncomfortable. Not because you are loud, not because you are trying to prove anything, but because you exist the way you do. Calm, confident, glowing, stronger than your age is supposed to allow. You walk into a room, and the air shifts. You do not ask for attention. Yet, it finds you. You do not chase validation. Yet, people measure themselves against you, and they hate that part quietly because you are breaking an unspoken rule. You are not supposed to look this good, feel this sharp, stand this tall at this age, and yet here you are, breathing proof that time did not weaken you. It refined you. You are not lucky. You are earned, and that is what hurts them the most. Before I go deeper, listen to me for a second. If these words hit something inside you, if you feel seen, understood, or awakened, then do not just listen silently. Support this message like this video so it reaches someone who needs it. Subscribe so we grow this powerful community together, and write in the comments where you are watching from and what age you are standing strong at, because your story matters and your presence here is not accidental. They are jealous of your age because your age gave you something they do not have and cannot fake you. Carry experience in your eyes, discipline in your posture, and silence in your confidence. You have lived enough to know who you are and suffered enough to never beg for approval again. You are no longer rushing to impress. You are no longer scared of being misunderstood, and that freedom shows on your face. Your skin glows differently because peace lives under it. Your smile is not desperate, it is grounded. Your energy does not chase it, attracts, and people feel that immediately. Some admire it quietly, others resent it deeply. They thought time would slow you down, They thought years would dim your fire. They expected wrinkles to replace confidence and fatigue to replace ambition. But instead, time carved you into something dangerous, something calm, something powerful. You did not age, you leveled up. You learned when to speak, when to walk away, when to fight, and when to let silence do the work. You stopped reacting and started choosing, and that choice made you unstoppable. Because the most powerful people are not loud. They are certain. You know what scares them the most? It is not your looks. It is not your style. It is not even your success. It is your self-respect. You do not tolerate nonsense anymore. You do not explain yourself to people, committed to misunderstanding you. You do not beg for love. You do not chase attention. And you do not shrink to make others comfortable. Your boundaries are clear, your standards are high, and your time is sacred. And people who live in chaos hate those who live in clarity. Your age made you powerful because it taught you pain and you survived it. Your age made you powerful because it showed you betrayal and you did not become bitter. You became smarter. Your age made you powerful because you lost things you loved and still chose to love life. Your age made you powerful because you failed publicly and stood back up privately. Your age made you powerful because you stopped proving and started being. They look at you and realize something terrifying. You cannot be controlled easily anymore. You are not desperate for validation. You are not hungry for attention. You are not afraid of being alone. And that makes you dangerous to weak minds, because a person who is comfortable alone is a person who cannot be manipulated. You are not scared of silence. You are not scared of endings. You are not scared of walking away. And that strength shows in everything you do. You move differently. Now, your presence is heavy, not in weight, but in impact. When you speak, people listen because your words come from experience, not theory. When you decide, people follow because your decisions are rooted in wisdom, not impulse. You are no longer rushing. You are aligning, and alignment always looks attractive. Alignment always looks confident. Alignment always looks powerful. They are jealous because you carry youth and wisdom together. You have the fire of someone who still dreams, and the calm of someone who knows reality. You can enjoy life without destroying yourself. You can have fun without losing control. You can love deeply without losing your identity, and that balance is rare. Most people are either reckless or fearful, but you are centered. You have scars they cannot see, battles you never talk about, nights you cried alone, and mornings you still showed up. You did not get here easily. You paid the price in discipline, in loneliness, in patience, in self-work. And now the reward is visible, not just in your face, but in your energy. People feel safe around you or threatened by you, and that depends on their own healing. They whisper your name when you are not around. They compare themselves to you when you are not trying. They wonder how you do it, how you stay calm, how you stay fit, how you stay sharp, how you stay confident without seeking approval. And the truth is simple. You stopped lying to yourself. You stopped pretending. You stopped betraying your own values, and that honesty built a foundation nothing can shake. Your age removed illusions. It showed you what matters and what does not. It taught you that opinions are cheap and peace is expensive. It taught you that real power is self-control and real beauty is self-acceptance. You do not need to prove your worth because you already know it. And knowledge of self is the highest form of power. They are jealous because you are proof that life does not end at a certain number. You are proof that strength can grow with time. You are proof that confidence can deepen with age. You are proof that discipline beats youth without direction, and that scares people who wasted time and avoided responsibility. You do not fear getting older because you know. Every year adds value to you. You gain clarity, you gain patience, you gain resilience, and you gain presence. You are not trying to look young, you look alive. And there is a difference. Youth fades, life force does not, and your life force is strong. You walk with a quiet authority, not arrogance, not ego, just certainty. You know who you are and what you bring. You do not compete. You create your own lane, and when you stop competing, you start winning, because comparison is the thief of joy. And you left that game a long time ago. They are jealous because you did the inner work while they chased distractions. You faced yourself while they avoided silence. You healed while they numbed. And now the difference is visible. You are grounded. They are restless. You are fulfilled. They are searching. You are present. They are chasing. Your age made you powerful because it taught you discipline over motivation, consistency over excitement, patience over impulse, and truth over comfort. And those lessons changed everything. You no longer need external hype. You generate your own drive. You wake up with purpose, not pressure. You are not perfect. You are real. And that authenticity shines. People trust you because you are not trying to sell an image. You are living your truth. You are not pretending to be strong. You became strong. And strength does not need to announce itself. They are jealous because you are comfortable in your skin. You do not apologize for your past. You do not hide your journey. You do not fear your future. You stand in the present fully, and that presence is magnetic. Remember this, not everyone who dislikes you hates you. Some people hate what you represent. Growth, discipline, self-respect, and unshakable confidence. You remind them of what they could have been and chose not to be, and that reflection is painful. Your age did not take anything from you. It gave you everything. It stripped away illusions, sharpened your instincts, and strengthened your character. You are not behind, you are right on time. Stay focused. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Your life is not a performance. It is a statement. And every day you live authentically, you prove that power does not come from youth. It comes from self-mastery. And if this message resonated, remember to support this channel. Like, subscribe, and share. Because this is not just motivation. This is a reminder of who you already are. Powerful, grounded, and rising every single day. You are not here to convince anyone anymore. You already did that work within yourself. The need to explain faded when certainty arrived. And now you let results speak, because results are quiet but undeniable. You learn that arguing drains energy and silence builds power, so you conserve yourself for what matters. And that discipline shows in your posture, your routine, your choices. People sense that you are not easily shaken. You have been through storms that would have broken others, and instead of wearing the damage, you turned it into depth. You do not panic when things go wrong, because you have seen worse. You do not celebrate too early, because you understand cycles, and this emotional control makes you intimidating to those who live on impulse. They are jealous, because you no longer chase moments. You build systems. You do not wait for inspiration. You move with intention. You do not rely on luck. You rely on preparation, and preparation creates confidence. Confidence creates calm, and calm creates dominance in any room. You understand something many never will. Time is not the enemy. Ignorance is you use time as a teacher instead of an excuse. Every year you ask yourself hard questions. Every season You adjusted. Every failure you studied. And that habit separated you from the crowd. Because most people repeat years, you refine them. Your energy is mature now, not desperate, not chaotic, not loud. It is steady and sharp when you speak. There is weight behind your words because you have lived them. You are not motivated by applause. You are driven by alignment, and alignment never needs approval. They look at you and realize they cannot rush you. You move at your own pace. And your pace is deliberate. You are not afraid of missing out because you know exactly what you want and what you are willing to ignore. Clarity removes fear, and fearlessness looks like confidence to the world. You are proof that self-respect is attractive. You do not overshare. You do not overpromise. You do not overreact. You give what is earned, and that restraint makes people curious because mystery is power when it comes from self-control. Your age gave you vision. You see patterns before they form. You sense intentions before words are spoken. You read energy, not just behavior, and that awareness protects you from traps that once caught you off guard. They are jealous because you are not confused anymore. Confusion keeps people weak. Clarity makes them strong. You know your values, your limits, and your direction. And when a person knows where they are going, they stop being distracted by noise. You no longer fear judgment because you understand judgment reveals more about the judge than the judged. You stopped internalizing opinions that do not align with your truth, and that emotional independence is rare. Your presence commands respect, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. You treat yourself with dignity, so others follow your lead. You do not chase respect. You attract it through consistency and integrity. They expected you to slow down, settle down, fade into routine. But instead, you evolved. You became sharper, more intentional, more disciplined. You replaced chaos with structure, and structure multiplies. Power. You understand balance now. You know when to push and when to pause, when to fight and when to let go. This wisdom keeps you strong while others burn out trying to prove something to people who do not matter. Your age made you powerful because it removed the fear of being disliked. You learned that not everyone needs to understand you, and that is freedom. You stopped shrinking to fit spaces that could not hold your growth. They are jealous because you are selective with your time, energy, and attention. You do not pour into empty cups. You invest where there is value, and that selectiveness elevated your life. You do not need constant validation because you validate yourself. You do not wait for permission because you trust your judgment, and that self-trust makes you unstoppable. Remember this: power is not loud, confidence is not aggressive, and strength is not reckless. Your calm is your weapon, your discipline is your armor, and your consistency is your advantage. Stay on your path. Let time continue to work for you, not against you. Every year will add depth, clarity, and strength. If you keep choosing growth over comfort, you are not aging, you are ascending, and those who cannot keep up will always call it jealousy. But you know the truth. Your age made you powerful, and your future is only getting stronger. And here is what they will never admit out loud. Your presence forces them to confront their own choices. When they see you standing strong, disciplined, glowing, calm, it reminds them of the time they wasted the promises they broke to themselves, the comfort they chose over growth. You are a mirror, and not everyone likes what they see, reflected back. You learned to delay gratification while others chased quick pleasure. You learned to say no when it was uncomfortable. You learned to wake up when it was hard. You learned to keep going when no one was clapping. And now the reward is visible, not just in results but in how you carry yourself. Your walk is unhurried because you are not late. Your eyes are steady because you are not lost. Your voice is calm because you are not insecure. These small details reveal a bigger truth. You are grounded and grounded. People are powerful. They thought confidence belonged to youth, but they were wrong. Confidence belongs to those who know themselves. Youth only has energy. Wisdom gives direction, and you have both now, which makes you a force. You stopped explaining your journey because you realized people only understand from their level of awareness. So you let them misunderstand you while you continue building silently. Your age taught you the value of solitude. You learned that being alone is not weakness. It is a reset, a sharpening, a return to self, and that comfort in solitude gave you clarity most people never reach. They are jealous because you are not afraid to start over smarter. You are not afraid to walk away from what no longer serves you. You are not afraid to choose peace over chaos. And that courage changed everything. You have standards now. Not walls, standards that protect your energy. You do not entertain drama. You do not tolerate disrespect. You do not negotiate your values. And that firmness creates respect, even from those who do not like you. Your body language speaks before you do. Shoulders relaxed, head high, breath steady. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. When the inside is settled, the outside follows. They are jealous because you no longer rush love, friendship, or success. Understand timing. You understand patience. You understand that what is built slowly lasts longer. Your age gave you perspective. You stopped making mountains out of moments. You stopped reacting emotionally to temporary situations. You learned to respond thoughtfully, and that maturity makes life smoother. You understand now that real success is peace at night, clarity in the morning, and pride in your progress, not applause from strangers. They are jealous because you look good without trying too hard. Your glow comes from routine discipline, rest, and self-respect, not from chasing trends. You invested in your health while others postponed it. You invested in your mind while others scrolled. You invested in your character while others chased image. And now the compound effect is undeniable. Your age taught you the power of consistency. Small actions repeated daily outperform talent without discipline, and you live that truth quietly. They look at you and realize excuses no longer work around you. Your existence challenges their comfort zone. You raise the standard without saying a word. You learn that confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. So you stopped overcommitting and started executing, and that reliability strengthened your self-trust. Your age made you powerful because you stopped fearing failure. You see it as feedback. You adjust and move forward without self-pity. They are jealous because you no longer need to prove your worth. You know it, and that certainty is rare. You are not chasing a highlight reel. You are building a legacy, habits, values, principles, and that long-term thinking separates leaders from followers. You move with intention. Every decision, every relationship, every habit is chosen, not accidental. And that intentional life feels different. They may call it luck. They may call it genetics. They may call it timing. But you know the truth. It was discipline, patience, and self-respect over years. Your age stripped away illusions about people. You learned who shows up, who stays, who supports, and who pretends. And that clarity saved you energy. You do not fear aging because you understand every year adds leverage, adds experience, adds confidence. You are not declining. You are consolidating power. They are jealous because you are not easily impressed. You value substance over surface, depth over noise. Your silence is not emptiness, it is strength. You speak when it matters and people listen. You learn that peace is not passive, It is protected. You guard it with boundaries, routine, and honesty. Your age made you powerful because you learned to forgive without forgetting, to move forward without repeating mistakes. They watch you from a distance, trying to decode you, because you no longer overshare. Your life is private, but purposeful. You understand now that real confidence is being okay with not being liked by everyone. You do not seek revenge, you seek growth, and growth is the loudest response. Your energy is clean, focused, and grounded. People feel it immediately. They are jealous because you are proof that discipline transforms everything. You are no longer rushing the process. You trust it. And remember this, the best chapters of life are often written later, when clarity meets courage, and you are right there. Keep going. Keep refining. Keep choosing yourself. Your age did not weaken you. It weaponized your wisdom. You are not supposed to look this good, feel this strong, think this clearly according to their limits. But you broke those limits, and that is why they are jealous, and understand this clearly. The jealousy you feel around you is not about appearance alone. It is about presence. It is about how you stand firm without seeking approval, how you smile without needing permission, how you exist without apology. That quiet confidence unsettles people who are still at war with themselves. You no longer move from fear, you move from choice. And that shift changed everything. Fear makes people rush. Choice makes people precise. You are precise now with words, with actions, with relationships, and that precision makes your life cleaner, stronger, calmer. They are jealous because you are no longer confused. Confusion keeps people stuck. You stepped out of that fog, you accepted who you are and who you are not, and that acceptance became your strength. Your age taught you something priceless, emotional regulation. You do not explode, you do not crumble, you do not spiral. You breathe, you assess, and you respond. And that control is power in its purest form. They thought confidence fades with time, but they were wrong. Fake confidence fades real. Confidence grows because it is built on self-knowledge, not external praise. You stopped trying to be liked and started being respected, and respect lasts longer. You stopped chasing attention and started commanding presence. Your age gave you patience. Patience to wait, patience to build, patience to walk away, and patience always wins because impatience exposes weakness. Ladies and gentlemen, they thought you were blind, didn't they? That their little jabs, their sneaky insults, their casual disregard went unnoticed. But you saw it all, every look, every word, every sly smirk. You counted them like clockwork, tick, 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 tick. They didn't realize the time was running out. They believed they could keep you under their thumb, keep you in the dark where they could continue their silent cruelty. Without consequence, they didn't understand. You were watching, you were listening, and you were learning their tactics. You were building something in the shadows. They thought you were weak. They thought you would crumble under the weight of their words. But instead, you were getting stronger with every blow, with every wound they inflicted on your spirit. You grew more resolute, more determined to rise from the ashes they tried to bury you in, to stand tall in the very face of the poison they injected into your veins. They couldn't see the fire building within you, the relentless fire of someone who has been pushed too far, someone who has been scorned and insulted one too many times, someone who has had enough. You let their words bounce off you like rain on stone, never allowing them to sink in, but each one cut deep, carving scars into your soul, ones you would carry forever, but ones that would eventually become the foundation of your greatest strength. You are not the person they thought they could break. You are not the person they thought would cower and disappear into the background. You are the person who will rise from the ashes of their cruelty like a phoenix reborn. They couldn't see it because they weren't paying attention. They were too busy with their own selfish little worlds, too busy throwing stones at the people they thought were easy targets, too blind to realize you were silently tracking every single one of their wounds, every insult, every look, every sneer, every tiny piece of their cruelty. But now the time has come, the time they thought would never come. They have no idea what's coming for them. They can't see the storm brewing inside you because they've never seen it before. They never saw the quiet fury that was building. They never understood the sheer power of someone who has been underestimated for far too long. They didn't understand what happens when someone finally decides they've had enough, when someone decides they're done being the punching bag, when they decide the time has come to take back everything that's been stolen from them. And now you stand on the edge of something more powerful than they could ever imagine, a force they thought was dormant within you, but now is awakening with the roar of 1,000 storms. They thought you would be a casualty of their cruelty. They thought they could break you into submission, but instead you've become a force of nature. You've become the one thing they never thought you would become, someone who is untouchable, someone who has seen the darkness and emerged from it stronger than ever before. They have no idea the monster they've awakened, no idea what they've unleashed. You've been collecting all their wounds, all their insults, all their little moments of malicious joy, and you've been building them into something fierce, something unstoppable. Every wound they left behind is now a weapon in your arsenal. Every insult is now fuel for the fire burning inside of you. They didn't realize that with each of their actions, they were strengthening your resolve. They thought they were tearing you apart, but in reality, they were stitching the very fabric of your strength together, piece by piece. They didn't understand that every wound they inflicted was not a mark of weakness, but a badge of honor, a testament to your resilience. They didn't understand that you were playing a game. They could never hope to win a game of patience, a game of strategy, a game of survival. They didn't realize that you were silently tracking every wound they left behind, and in doing so, you were building an empire of strength that they would never be able to tear down. The day is coming when they will look up and realize that they have awakened a force beyond their comprehension. They will look at you and see not the weak person they thought you were, but the warrior. You have become the survivor, the one who withstood their cruelty without flinching, the one who took their blows and turned them into something greater, the one who has become a symbol of strength in a world that tried to break them. When they see you standing tall and unshaken, they will know that they have underestimated you. They will know that all the wounds they thought would defeat you have only made you stronger. They will know that their attempts to break you were nothing more than the fuel that powered your rise to greatness, and by then, it will be too late for them to do anything about it. They will have to live with the fact that they underestimated you, that they thought they could walk all over you without consequence. And now, they will have to pay the price for their arrogance. They didn't realize that every time they threw a jab your way, every time they disregarded your worth, they were planting the seeds of their own downfall. They thought they were in control. But the truth is, they were always playing into your hands because you understood something. They didn't. You understood that true power doesn't come from crushing others. True power comes from withstanding the weight of their cruelty and using it to grow stronger with each passing day. You are a force now, a force that no one can ignore, a force that no one can control. They can no longer pretend they can keep you under their thumb, because they will soon realize that you were never theirs to control. You were never weak. You were never broken. You were always a survivor, always a fighter, always someone who would rise up and prove them wrong when they least expected it. So let them come. Let them try to tear you down. Let them throw their insults and jabs. Let them say whatever they want to say. Because now you know the truth. They are powerless against you. You've seen their weaknesses. You've seen their cruelty. And now you know how to use it to your advantage. They may have thought they were breaking you, but in reality, they were forging a weapon that will cut through every obstacle that stands in your way. They may have thought they were hurting you, but in reality, they were helping you grow. They were helping you become the person you were always meant to be, the person who could withstand anything and still come out on top, the person who can turn every wound into a victory, the person who can take every insult and turn it into fuel for their own success. They didn't know it, but they were creating the very thing that would destroy them. Now it's your turn to rise up. It's your turn to stand tall. It's your turn to show the world the power of someone who has been underestimated, someone who has been hurt but has never been broken, someone who has learned from every wound and used it to become unstoppable. The time has come to turn the tables, to take back everything that's been stolen from you, and to show the world the true strength that lies within you, because they didn't know it, they didn't understand it. But now they will never forget the day they realized they were wrong about you, the day they thought they had finally defeated you, the day they thought they had stripped away your spirit and left you broken. That day will mark the turning point, the moment when everything changes. Because as they stood there, watching you seemingly fall, they failed to see the metamorphosis taking place beneath the surface. What they failed to see, what they could never understand, was that you were never truly broken. You were never as fragile as they hoped. Instead, you were quietly rebuilding, recalibrating, and refining every ounce of your being for the moment when you would rise once more and show them the power of your resilience. They thought they knew you. They thought they had figured you out, but they were wrong. They thought their games of manipulation, their petty insults, their attempts to push you into a corner would leave you defenseless. But instead, they awakened something inside you, something so primal and untamed that it would soon escape their grasp and roar back into the world with a force they could never predict. The storm inside you, once a whisper, has grown louder, and soon the winds of change will sweep everything in its path. And when the time comes, when they realize what they have unleashed, it will be too late. It will be too late, because now you are no longer playing their game. You're playing your own. The rules have shifted, and the scales have tilted in your favor. Every move you make from here on out will be calculated, deliberate, and unstoppable. They will try to apologize, to offer excuses, to somehow convince themselves that they didn't do anything wrong. But by then, their words will mean nothing. The damage has been done, and they will have to live with the reality that they pushed you to the edge, and in doing so, they made you invincible. Every time they mocked you, every time they belittled you, they were stitching the tapestry of your strength. With every comment they thought would break you, they only reinforced your resolve. With every sneer, every look of contempt, they were unknowingly sharpening your mind and honing your spirit. And when they realized it was too late, they would wish they had never crossed you. But by that point, they will have no one but themselves to blame, because you are no longer the person they thought you were. You are something more. What they failed to understand, what they never anticipated, was that you didn't need to react in their moment. You didn't need to lash out or respond in anger. No, your power was in your silence, your restraint, your ability to observe and plan. Your strength lay in your capacity to endure, to bide your time, to wait for the perfect moment to strike. They saw patience as weakness, but what they didn't know was that you were gathering your forces in the quiet, building an empire of strength from the ground up. Now when you make your move, when you rise from the ashes, they won't be able to keep up. They won't understand how you got there. They won't understand how you transformed their cruelty into power. It will feel as though you appeared out of nowhere, but that's because they were too blind to see what was happening all along. They will be left wondering how you turned their poison into your antidote, how you turned their darkness into your light. The pain they caused you, the wounds they thought would define you, will become the story of your transformation. You will wear them like a crown, not as symbols of weakness, but as reminders of your strength. Every insult, every disregard, every cruel action will serve as a reminder that you overcame it all. And when you walk through the door they thought would never open, when you step into the place they thought you could never reach, they will understand that their vision of you was never the truth. It was only their perception, clouded by their own ignorance and arrogance. By then, they will know what it feels like to be blind. They will see you standing there, unshaken, unbroken, and completely transformed. And they will finally realize that everything they thought they knew about you was wrong. They thought they could wear you down, break your spirit, tear apart your soul. But instead, you have become the embodiment of everything they feared most. Someone who is untouchable, unbreakable, unstoppable. And when they see you standing tall in the face of their contempt, when they realize that they can no longer control you or dictate your worth, it will be a moment of reckoning. A moment when they must come to terms with the truth they refuse to acknowledge. You were never their victim. You were always their equal, their superior, their match in every way. You just had to wait for the right moment to prove it. You will walk away from them, but not with your head hung in defeat, not with your tail between your legs. You will walk away with your head held high, your heart full of pride, knowing that you have transcended everything they ever threw your way. You will walk away knowing that their words no longer have the power to hurt you. Their actions no longer have the ability to damage you. You will walk away knowing that you are better than they ever thought you could be. And in that moment, they will realize that they were the ones who were blind all along. They will see that everything they did to you, every little moment they thought they could control, was nothing more than a chapter in the story of your rise. And in the end, they will be left with nothing but their regret, their shame, and their understanding that they failed to break you. They will understand that they were never the ones in control. You were always the one in control, and you always will be. In the end, you will be the one who gets the last word, the last laugh, the final victory. Because you will have taken everything they tried to destroy you with and turned it into a force so powerful, so unstoppable, that they will never forget the day they underestimated you. They will never forget the day they thought they could break you. They will never forget the day they realized they were wrong about you. And when they see you standing victorious, they will understand that your silence was never weakness, that your patience was never passivity, and that your strength was always there, silently waiting for the moment when it would be unleashed. That moment has arrived. That moment is now, and there is nothing they can do to stop it. That moment, the moment you rise from the ashes they tried to bury you in, will be the beginning of their downfall. They will watch in disbelief as the tide of power shifts. They will be left wondering how it happened, how you went from the silent target of their cruelty to the unshakable force they now face. Their arrogance, their ignorance, their inability to recognize strength when it's right in front of them, this is what will defeat them in the end. They may try to lash out again, to manipulate, to belittle, to try and reignite the cruelty they once thought would break you. But now, it will no longer matter. Their words will fall on deaf ears. Their actions will no longer have the impact they once did. The foundation they thought they had built upon your suffering will crumble beneath the weight of your defiance. Every attempt they make to drag you back down into the shadows will only serve to propel you forward into the light. The more they push, the stronger you become, and the more they will realize that their power over you was never real. It was always a fantasy they concocted in their own minds, a distorted view of someone who, deep down, was much more powerful than they could ever understand. You see, they never understood what it means to truly endure. They thought that inflicting pain on you would break you. They thought that by making you feel small, by shoving you down into the dirt, they would extinguish your fire. But they were wrong. They never saw the quiet rage building beneath your calm exterior. They never understood that every insult, every slight, every wound they inflicted was not breaking you. It was forging you. You were becoming something more. And while they focused on their small victories, laughing behind your back and whispering their hurtful words, they failed to see that you were quietly becoming their worst nightmare. They believed they had the upper hand because they couldn't see the internal transformation you were going through. They were too caught up in their own egos, too drunk on their own sense of superiority, to recognize that you were quietly evolving. They never realized that every insult, every moment of disrespect was a lesson to you. You were learning how to handle their cruelty with grace. You were learning how to turn their weapons into your armor. You were learning how to use their hatred as fuel for your own growth, as the raw material for your eventual triumph. And now that they have awakened the beast within you, they will never be able to put it back to sleep. They can try to silence you, try to break you again, but it will never work. You've transcended the power they once held over you. Your silence, once a tool for survival, has transformed into a weapon of its own. You no longer need to respond to their provocations. You don't need to stoop to their level and play the same petty games they play. Your power now lies in your ability to rise above them, to stand firm in your own truth, and to walk away with your dignity intact. They will try to convince themselves that they can break you, that they can win this battle. But they will be fighting a ghost. The person they once knew, the person they thought they could control, is gone. That person was never you. The person you've become is someone they could never understand, someone they could never defeat. They will throw everything at you, more insults, more cruelty, more attempts to pull you down, but it will only make you stronger. You will continue to rise, like a tide that cannot be stopped, like a force of nature that they cannot control. They will eventually see that they are powerless in the face of your strength, and by then, it will be too late for them to do anything about it. In their attempts to break you, they failed to realize one critical truth. They were only shaping your destiny. Every insult they hurled your way was another piece of the puzzle falling into place. Every cut, every scar, every moment of pain became part of the blueprint for your success. You didn't let those wounds define you. You let them guide you. You turned every hurt into an opportunity for growth, every battle into a lesson. And now, when you emerge victorious, when you rise above them, you will know that the journey you went through wasn't in vain. The pain wasn't for nothing. It was for this moment, the moment you proved to yourself, to them, and to the world that nothing they could ever do could break you. You are indestructible, and as you stand on the other side of their cruelty, looking back at the wreckage they have left behind, you will see something they never will. You will see that their cruelty, their need to bring you down, was the very thing that gave you your wings. Their attempts to break you were, in fact, the catalyst that allowed you to fly higher than you ever thought possible. You were never meant to stay on the ground with them. You were always meant for something greater, something more powerful. And now, as you soar above them, you will see them for what they truly are. Small, petty, and beneath you. They will try to move on, but they will never forget you. They will never forget the way they underestimated you. They will never forget the way they tried to break you and failed. Because even when they try to find new targets to hurt, to manipulate, they will always remember you. You will be the one that got away. You will be the one that rose from the ashes and left them behind, wondering how they could have ever thought they could defeat someone like you. They will be left in the dust, looking back at you with regret, with the knowledge that they could never touch you again. They will wonder what went wrong, and in their confusion, they will realize that the true power was never theirs to begin with. The true power was always inside you. They thought they could control you, but in reality, they were always the ones being controlled. They were the ones who created your power. They were the ones who gave you the strength to rise, and now they will live with the consequences of their actions. And as they try to pick up the pieces of their own shattered egos, you will be long gone, far beyond their reach, and unstoppable. You will have learned the most important lesson of all, that the power to control your destiny has always been in your hands, and no one, not them, not anyone, can ever take that away from you. As you look toward the future, as you stand on the precipice of everything you've worked for, remember this: they thought they could destroy you, but all they did was set you free. They thought they could break you, but all they did was turn you into the force they feared most. And now, as you step into your future, unstoppable, unshakable, unbroken, you will leave them behind, knowing that you are always meant for greatness. You are the storm they never saw coming. You are the power they could never understand. And there is nothing they can do to stop you. Nothing at all. In the end, they will be left with the bitter realization that they never truly knew you. They thought they had the power to break you, to diminish your worth, to make you feel small. But all along, they were only shaping the force that would rise from the depths of their cruelty. Their every attempt to tear you down became the catalyst for your ascent, the fuel that ignited the fire of your resilience. They never understood that their words and actions, meant to wound you, would only make you stronger. Now, as you stand in the aftermath with the weight of their insults and disdain behind you, you will emerge as something greater than they could ever have imagined. You will be a testament to endurance, a symbol of what happens when one refuses to be broken. Your strength was never in their hands. It was always in yours. They pushed you, underestimated you, and tried to silence you. But in doing so, they gave you the very tools to rise above them. And now that you stand, untouchable, unshaken, victorious, you will know the truth. The power was always inside you. You were never their victim. You were always the force they should have feared. The world may never understand the quiet fury that brewed within you. But when the storm hits, when they see you for who you truly are, they will understand that they were wrong about you all along. You've emerged from their cruelty, not as someone broken, but as someone unstoppable. And there is nothing they can do to stop you now. The moment they tried to control you is the moment they sealed their own fate. The future is yours now. Walk forward with your head held high, knowing that every wound they inflicted was a testament to your strength and that you have transcended them in every way. The power has always been yours, and now the world will know it too.